What you have today will be a sweet salad. So I know a lot of people don't like sweet salads, but I personally love sweet salads. In my salads, I put like onion, honey, lemon. I also am not completely plant-based, so I do put feta cheese, which is very good. It's a good source of fat, you know. But if you are vegan, there's no feta cheese in this. This is just onions. I'll pull out our salad demonstration. So I took about a quarter of an onion and I cut that in half. So not too much. You can use whatever salad you please. I personally like a good spring mix. A spring mix has plenty of different veggies like romaine. It has the big green leafy ones. And in your salads, you're going to also see some blueberries. Now, blueberries are full and rich of antioxidants. And kind of, to be honest with you, I didn't really like blueberries growing up. But as I grew up, I learned how to oops. I think I can get a handheld. Maybe that might be better. Handheld. Okay, sorry. There we go. That's way better. Yeah, so you can incorporate these really rich in antioxidants. The dressing in there is 2 lemons, like about a 1/4 cup of water, and a tablespoon of honey. Now, this is just kind of what I use to drizzle it all together and mix it all together. Now, the quantity and the portions are a little different because this is a larger group, but depending on, I'll be giving you guys the recipe later as well, but depending on your party size, you can adjust the measurements as needed. Okay. We have our entrees coming up next as well. And I'll just kind of go through that right now. What you have is a Thai curry coming up. So a coconut Thai curry. I like to use this unsweetened coconut milk from Thai Kitchen. I find that it's really a good balance of fat and water of the coconut. It's also dairy free. It's vegan, of course. So I opened that up. I'm going to put this down real quick. Yeah. Syrup we need. Oh, okay. Finish. She had it, but it. Oh no. Maybe Nick, if you can pass me a spoon, please.
My means.
All right. So as you guys will see, I'll come a little forward and show you right on top of that. You see the fat. It is just sitting on the top. Okay. Underneath is water, coconut water. So I'm going to turn this on about to high. What you want with this is to pour about half. So I'm going to mix it here. Unfortunately, I can't take this up and show you guys. I wish there was like an aerial camera, but yeah. And we just let that mix for a little bit. So the purpose of this is to have the coconut water and the coconut cream to separate. So when you put this on, you know it's ready to add more ingredients when it starts to bubble. And when it starts to bubble, you will see like the separation of oil and the coconut milk itself. Okay, so we'll let that stick on for some time. Okay. We'll move on to our next item, which is our mushrooms. So mushrooms have a component in it called glutamate. And glutamate is kind of what gives it its very meaty flavor without it having meat. So it's just a very rich element. I personally think if you want this to be as chewy as possible, you should leave it overnight, let it soak. I put about 2.5 cups of water in this. Now, if you're trying to do it quick, maybe you're wanting to do this for dinner or something along those lines, you can always boil it. Take it for about 20 minutes of boiling and it will reduce. Now, you don't throw that water away because you will be using that water later. So you let this soak for maybe about 24 hours, or if you want to boil it, you do it for 20 minutes and you keep the water from that. You'll also be having some brown rice coming on. And again, these proportions are relative to the size of your party. Okay. Yeah, it's going really nice. So when this does boil down, what I like to use is the tomato paste next. So not the whole can. I typically buy around this size. Take about half or a little less than half, and you put that inside as you're mixing the two together. This also has, the tomato paste also has glutamate inside of it. Now I'm going to come a little closer with this particular curry paste. This is the Thai kitchen curry paste, okay? This says there's heat to it, but as you're tasting the curry, is there any heat? There's no heat. So the amount of other ingredients that you put in really does balance out the heat, and you just really get a nice, like, kind of chili flavor. And this has ginger, has a lot of great things in here, and it is vegan, which is the best part. You're welcome. Oh, yeah, it is boiling. Okay, we're getting there. I'll just show you guys up close some of the ingredients that we like to use. I like to use this particular brand because it is gluten-free for anyone who would want to do gluten-free. The Tamari soy sauce is gluten-free. Okay. But I think it's Kikome. I don't know how to say the name, but I don't know about any other brands of tamari sauce, but at least this particular brand is gluten free. And this is pretty much a gluten free meal. I don't believe that there's anything, maybe, no, nothing. This is also a gluten free meal as well. So we have steamed broccoli as well. Everyone knows how to steam broccoli. And maybe if you don't know, I'll still explain it. You take it for about like maybe 15, 20 minutes, slow setting. I personally like to put some like salt and olive oil on mine, but you do whatever is best for you for your dietary um, preference. Okay, put this to the side. And if you guys need some salt, we have some up here. So please feel free to salt up your food. No offense will be taken. You can pass it along. Let's see. Okay. All right. So yes, this is boiling over. Now, I believe I will add our tomato paste in right now. Another spoon, please. Thank you. It's on the table. Thank you. Okay. We will be using tofu in this recipe. Just regular firm tofu. Some people like to take the tofu and they soak it overnight, maybe in the soy sauce if you want to do it to give it kind of an extra punch. I don't like to do that. I don't like too much sodium in my food, so I try not to add too much. And we are cutting them in cubes. About this size. That's a really good question. No, they are not portabella. These are actually shiitake mushrooms. And now they have more of like an earthy flavor to them. And it's kind of strong, but you can use portabella. I actually often use portabella because it's easier to find than shiitake mushrooms sometimes. It still comes out great. Still comes out great. And those you do not need to soak overnight.
Here these eggs.
So at this point, I am just mixing the coconut milk and the tomato sauce until they're, one, kind of like marriage. We mix them. And then I add our paste in, the chili paste. The good thing about these is that you don't really need to use all of your items. So I use about half. Then again, it depends on the person. Some people like more of a like flavorful and power-packed meal. I like mine's more mild and just easily balanced in my opinion. So I don't like to use too much, but you do get a good flavor from it. And you can adjust the recipe to your own desires when you are cooking it yourself at your house. Okay. At this point in time, I have chickpeas up here. Now, the chickpeas I use as kind of a good base here. And so I like to pour out the aquafaba, which is the water. It's just chickpeas and water, but it's called aquafaba when they merge. And I save the aquafaba and I use it as a thickener. Fun thing too, you can use it to make bread. It makes really soft and nice bread. Yeah, made it before. So I like to pour that out. Right now, I don't particularly have anything. Maybe if I could get a cup or something, that'd be great. But if not, it's okay. I'll just move this over here. So I pour out my aquafaba. And I like to, while the tomato paste and the chili paste are going, I like to add this in. So it helps it cook a little faster. And go ahead and add the whole thing in. It's about a 15.5-ounce can. Okay. And we are going to stir that. So, fun fact, I actually grew up not using recipes. So, in preparation for this, I had to really try my best to make sure you guys can replicate this. So, I hope you guys enjoy the meal. We're stirring this until it gets a little soft for maybe another couple of minutes. And we'll get our other ingredients ready. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Asian food is one of my favorite foods to make. The next goal is Indian food. Indian is a part of Asia, I know, guys, but it's you have Oriental Asians and you have everyone else. Yeah. Their culture is also very rich. They are very family orientated, which is a personal value of mine. Okay, now let's add some more coconut milk. Now, how do you know that the mushrooms are thoroughly soaked is if when you squeeze them, they're squishy. So some people may not like the texture, and that's okay. You may want to go for a different kind of mushroom, but specifically the dried shiitake mushroom, it absorbs the water and gives it a very nice and palatable flavor. If you're boiling it for 20 minutes and it's not super soft, don't worry about that because as you're cooking the other ingredients, it will cook down. So it does get to that texture eventually. I would say within about maybe 20 more minutes of being cooked with everything else. Okay, so we are going to add our mushrooms next. I'm pouring about half that water in because it is very strong and I don't want it to overpower the dish. Now you saw me add the whole head of mushroom. You can cut it up. I cut it up for the audience here tonight, but I personally like a good mushroom taste to it, so I usually add the whole mushroom in. And then we just stir that until it starts to boil. Just stirring it. Another ingredient I have up here is Thai basil. Now, Thai basil, I see you smiling. You must use this often. It's really delicious. It has more of like an organic flavor. It's a little different than the regular basil, but the flavor profile, this adds to the flavor profile of the curry. So you can wait to put this in towards the end. I like to have it cooked down because I don't like the stem feeling so tough. I don't use all the stem anyway, but I like my food thoroughly soft. I don't like too hard of a food profile. And I chop it up. Here's a ribbit. Now, does anyone have any questions? Maybe about the dish, maybe about just the nutritional value? No? Awesome. Just making sure. Okay. Let that cook for a little bit. I'll be adding in about 1/8 of a cup of soy sauce, or maybe even a little less than that. I'd say start off with 1/2 of a cup and then, work your way. Something else I add in here is lime. So this is about half of a lime is about, I'd say maybe 2 teaspoons or so. If you can get lime leaves, that's even better. You just bruise them, you crush them, and you stick them in there, and they just add more of a depth to the flavor profile. I prefer lime leaves, but we don't have an Asian store around here that really carries it. So we're just going to use the lime freshly squeezed. And if you were to add lime leaves, I would say about 4 lime leaves. You just crush it and bruise it. Okay. So we'll just keep mixing this. This is where we add our tofu. So some people I have seen online, they sear their tofu, and that's nice. If you're wanting to kind of keep the food more natural, I just stick mine in and I let it sit. So I don't serve this meal immediately after I make it. I just let all the components just kind of absorb everything, and then I serve it maybe, depends, 30 minutes afterwards, just so everything is joined together very nicely. Okay. And we're going to let that simmer for a little bit. Okay. So I remember growing up, I was the only one who was vegan in my house. And so I had to learn how to feed myself because my mom did not know what to do with us. Now she's vegetarian and she actually makes the best tofu. We're Haitian. So arguably, I think we make the best food on this planet. So, but it's really great to be able to take the initiative to learn how to cook food that you really like and that's really good for your body. Coconut milk has a lot of healthy fats, which is what we want, and our bodies need the fats in order to, they store it, of course, but we use it for energy. Our cells need ATP. And also, I feel that it's really nice to be able to connect with different cultures through food. It's a wonderful way to witness. See? This is almost done here. It's just a couple more minutes of simmering, and I think that we will be done. Wow. We're going to add some basil, some regular basil. Okay. This is about a teaspoon's worth of basil going in. When I was head chefing I'm a Cole Porter, and so where I used to be a Cole Porter, and I was a leader and a head cook. So every time I was in the kitchen, I would tell the students, guys, we need to clean as we cook, clean as you cook, because you don't want to be left with a whole load of dishes. And I don't know about you, but I hate doing the dishes. I really do. And I'm not ashamed to say it. But what helps with that is cleaning as you go because it saves you a lot of dishes at the end of your meal. Cleaning as you go, friends. Okay. All right. Okie doke. The last item we're going to add in here are bay leaves. I typically just put 2, but put as many as you want. But 2 does the trick, especially if you're just letting it sit. As you can tell, I adapted this into my own liking. So feel free to do the same. I'm sure they do not add bay leaves in regular Korean. Maybe If they do, why? I'm mistaken, but I just add 2. Bloop. Let it sit in there. Let it simmer. Does it smell okay? Does it smell like... Can you smell it? I'm so sorry. I'm getting all the benefits up here. I'll say it again. It's a smell-o-vision. Media team, do you hear that? We need smell-o-vision. Alrighty. Now, I'm a taster. I like to taste my food to make sure it's appropriate, and then I adjust it to the liking. 1 more spoon, please. I'm giving everyone a workout. Thank you, thank you. Okay. That's pretty good. Wow. I'm not tooting my own horn, but thank you, Lord. Okay. Oopsies. That's what I get. A little pride. Okie dokie. Let's put this back on here. Now, I think what this really needs right now is just to sit for a little bit and just let all the flavors combine. And that's pretty much it. And now for dessert, I will be really quick. Yeah, I have about a few minutes. We'll be bringing out a smoothie. Now, I used to work in a smoothie shop too. Been a lot of places. And we would have this smoothie. It's called strawberry pineapple mint. And initially, when I first heard of this smoothie, I was like, oh, that sounds really gross, mint in a smoothie. But it's quite refreshing. It's really, really refreshing. And so I'm going to show you guys how to make that today. And I, of course, love to adapt it. So I added mango in this one too. Hopefully no one is allergic to mangoes. Some of the stuff.
Oh, faculty.
As I was moving the items away, I realized I didn't show you how much broccoli I used. About a head's worth for a family. I used 2 for everyone here, so that gives you a gauge. All right, let's get started with our smoothie. I don't see the smoothie top here, though. It's like the blender portion. Well, as they're grabbing that, I'll show you the ingredients. So I used 30 pieces of strawberries, half of a half of a pineapple, and I like fresh ingredients. So typically I like to freeze them when they get kind of sugary and nice. And then that's what I use. I don't like to do the store-bought, but for the sake of time, today we did use that. But I would typically buy my own strawberries. And I didn't even use half of a mango. I literally used 3 pieces of mango. So it adds enough. And this one's super sweet. As you can probably see, it's very caramelized. So it's super yummy. And of course, mint. Now, you're not going to add a whopping load of mint. It's like 2 or 3 leaves max because that mint is pretty strong. And that's about it. 3 batches of mint. As far as the water portion, we'll pretend we'll have the blender up here. We might not get a chance to blend, and that's okay. So we will take our container, we would fill it. That is not 30 pieces of strawberries, but we just have portion sizes up here. For the pineapple, I did about a cup's worth of pineapple. Okay. And mango, again, 3 pieces of mango because it can be quite strong. Unless you are using the frozen stuff from the stores, they do tend to be watered down, so you wouldn't have to really worry about it.
Uh, well,
And the amount of liquid you use is just enough, like about half way to cover up the fruit. And I'll demonstrate that right here. So just about half. And you let that go. You just blend that until it's smooth. It is the most sugary thing. Today might be a little different. Catch me guys on a better day. I will give you a smoothie that will rock your socks. But this is okay. We love smoothies at the village church. But yeah, you take about this much and you blend it, and you'll have a pretty thick smoothie. Leave it in the freezer or in the refrigerator. It's up to you. And that would be it, folks. That's all we're doing here. So thank you so much for your time. As I'm cleaning up, I pray you enjoy your meal.